And we're back.
We're back. Welcome to Quiet
in the back.
That's right. Wait back there. Shut the fuck up. We're back. Okay.
My name is Patrick William. I'm your host.
I am also your host, Austin Jenny.
And we just watched
Dead Presidents.
Dead Presidents.
Dead Presidents.
A 90s crime caper classic.
Fucking great movie.
It was my first time seeing it.
Yeah, both of our first time.
Shockingly. Somehow I missed this in my childhood. It's one of those movies that everyone always talks about and tells you that you need to watch all the time. And I just never got around to it.
Funnily enough, I'd never even heard of it. So, different strokes for different folks.
Really cool movie by the Hughes Brothers.
Yeah.
Written and directed. I think I saw it was written and directed by the Hughes Brothers.
Yeah, by both of them.
At least also produced by them. A lot of sort of like recognizable faces.
Yeah, especially nowadays.
Yeah.
Those. I mean, I have no idea what the context of how popular those people were
at the
time. But my goodness, I recognize a lot of people. It was really interesting. Obviously, there was a very talented cast.
Yeah. And I don't know most of their names.
No, yeah, for sure.
It's like recognizable faces.
Yep.
And I'm like, I know that guy from there. I know that guy. But it's like, I don't know many of their names.
Literally just Terrence Howard.
And Chris Tucker.
Yeah. Yep.
Chris Tucker. And Terrence Howard. New math.
New math. It's here for you.
Terrence Howard wants you to know. There's new math. And you're not in it.
No, apparently not, dude.
This movie is complex.
Mm-hmm.
At times hard to watch.
For sure. Yeah, it's pretty grotesque.
Kind of cool though.
Yeah.
From time to time. Like it's got that like cool crime element to it.
For sure. I mean, it's got some old school swag too going on pretty often.
Yeah. It takes place in the 60s and 70s. Starts in 68. Ends in 73. I think.
Yeah, I guess it's unclear after the last cut
how long it's been.
Based on hair growth and stuff, probably 73, 74. It's like a 7-year gap or something like that total. Yeah.
Let's see. This is a movie that, for lack of a better word, it's like a black culture movie. It's made by black people. It's a black story. It's about like black neighborhood in the Bronx.
Yeah.
And it takes place in 68, like I said, in the middle of the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
And
people getting drafted.
Yeah, you've got a couple young black friends who are just graduating high school, and they're like delivering milk. I think that's their high school job.
Yeah, dude.
And they're just
throwback. Jesus Christ.
And they're all talking. That was so funny.
It was. Everyone has their little milk receptacles. Yeah. It's just like, wow. That was a very.
It's like right next to the mailbox is the milk box. And you get one, you put out your empty bottles.
Yep.
And then the mailman or the milkman comes and he takes your empties and he gives you one regular, one chocolate.
The milkman's fucking your wife.
You know,
holy shit.
You hear about like the milkman, it's like jokes and shit.
Yeah.
And
that was just a profession.
I just like never actually thought about like what that would look like in a society.
Yeah.
The actuality, the on the ground reality of a milkman.
It involves a lot of receptacles.
You need a box.
Did they go? What did they turn the milk receptacles into, dude?
What happened to your milk receptacle area? Engineers have done away with this.
Silly, dude. Ooh, jeepers.
But it's 1968, and you've got a couple young black friends, and what is the character's name? He's like a Latino guy.
Oh, God, I can't remember. There's a lot of names in this movie.
There's a lot of names that we won't be remembering, but it's three guys. They're delivering milk together, and they're all talking about like what they're going to do after high school. And Chris Tucker's character is like, all I know is I'm not going to that fucking war.
Yeah, I'm not going to that war.
I'm going to college, man.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah, he ends up in the war.
Yeah. Yeah, he's drafted.
Spoiler.
Yeah, little spoiler.
I think they reference that he does try to go to college.
Does he?
Because they call him a dropout. Like, he flunked out of college.
Got you, and then started pimping.
I'm a pimp.
Dude, some of the lines coming out of that man's mouth are just comedy gold.
Yeah.
I born by the pussy, I die by the pussy. It's like,
I'm a pimp. Pimping running my blood. It's like my great granddad was a slave and he was a pimp. Had hoes picking his cotton.
Dude, that's so crazy. So out of pocket.
That's why Chris Tucker's the GOAT, man.
Yeah.
This was the year after Friday.
Mm-hmm.
He still hasn't seen Friday.
I'm sorry.
But Chris Tucker was like the charisma in Friday.
Oh yeah,
the comic relief, and he's just like that, but like a total stoner.
Yeah,
it takes place in Compton.
Nice.
I think it's Compton. Yeah, wherever Ice Cube's from.
Yeah, I think that's Compton.
But yeah, Chris Tucker's the man in this movie. Very funny.
Very funny. Dude, he's crazy, especially when he's young. He obviously starts to lose it after the war. But yeah, man, it brought me back to his fucking Fifth Element performance too. Yeah. Some of his, when he's really getting going, it's like, oh, there it is.
Yeah. Pick it up, man. Come on. Come on. Just the way he talks. He always says everything twice.
Yep.
He says it first, not regular, but like less insane than he's gonna say it the follow-up time. He always sandwiches it. He's like, pick it up, man. Come on, man, pick it up. It's always like that follow-up is like
very
so much louder.
Very punchy. He has such natural comedic talent. It's ridiculous.
But yeah, these guys are all talking about what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Tucker doesn't want to go to the war, but our main character, like, you can tell he doesn't mind the idea. He's like not opposed to it.
Totally.
And they're talking to the Latino character about how he's going to get served his papers or whatever.
Mm-hmm. For draft.
The draft. Yeah. They call it the A1. Uncle Sam's going to give you your A1s. And I don't know why they were only concerned about that for him.
Yeah, they really weren't concerned about it for themselves.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Which makes me think it's like a demographic thing.
Perhaps maybe at that time.
Like, was the Latino community being drafted harder?
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea.
Me neither. Totally ignorant to that. But they were only concerned about him getting draft papers.
Yeah.
And not themselves. They made it seem like it was going to be voluntary whether they chose to go or not.
Mm-hmm.
It was basically between college or war.
Yeah. Ugh. No thanks.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'll take neither, please.
It was crazy in this movie how, like, there's like a party scene where they're all like chopping it up, just like dancing and smoking, and just like the relaxed nature, the casualness of the way these guys are all talking about, like, he got his draft papers and they're going to war. Like, the level of acceptance that they all had, that just like, this is what's happening. It's the status quo.
Yeah, it's super interesting, man. It's like I would not go quietly into that night. Dude, I'm not getting
that's
drafted.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like, our generation would not be that cool.
Not
with
a chance.
They just like, it was just like water off a duck's back. They're
it's like, going to war.
War.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
War never changes.
This is what we do.
Yeah.
And their dads all served in the Korean War. The main character's dad was in Korea.
Was that a draft too?
I don't think Korea was a draft.
Right?
I think so Vietnam was the first draft, and it went so badly that they stopped the draft after Vietnam.
They didn't draft for World War II?
Well, World War II is a special circumstance, maybe.
Yeah. Huh. Nonetheless.
Showing my ignorance again.
Yeah, aren't we all?
Yeah. Not a historian.
Yeah, we watch movies.
We haven't even watched a movie about World War II, so how would I know that?
Very true. Yeah, we'll learn.
We'll start watching some documentaries. But the long and short of it is they do go to war.
They do. They specifically, our main character is drafted. Turns out...
Well, he signs up.
Oh, yeah.
He wants to go.
He goes, yeah.
There's like a very tense scene with his parents.
With his mom. That's right.
His older brother is a college student who graduated, and he's in grad school now.
Yeah.
And he's saying, you can be just like me, because I think he has grades to get accepted. That's what they're talking about. Like, he's got the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And he just gets like kind of quiet.
Yeah.
And his mom's like, so what do you want to study in school? And he like looks to his dad. He's like, can you pass the salt? She's like, what?
What?
What'd you say?
Huh?
And he's like, I want to join the Marine Corps.
Yeah. Dude, I do not like his mom whatsoever.
She was very not understanding.
No, and just callous and like just like didn't put any effort into actually caring about what he wanted at all. It's like, think my parents would be so happy that we're gonna have college educated kids. It's
I know.
Yeah.
And I mean, I understand.
Sure.
If you're a parent and your child is volunteering to go into a war and they have the opportunity to go to college and pursue a career, and you're trying to wrap your head around it, right? Like, what did I do wrong as a parent?
Yeah. I'm sure that's, I'm
like,
sure that is a wild thing to deal with.
She does not understand his choice.
Yeah.
And to be fair, again, he does not really explain himself very well in the scene, at least.
Totally. Yeah. You don't see what's not obviously shown, but
he's just kind of like, I'm not ready to go to school. I don't want to go to college. I want to do something different with my life. That's all he gives her.
Yeah. Yeah. And apparently war is different enough.
It's different. All right.
Yeah, certainly. So yeah, we get to Nam.
Dude, there's a very cool scene. The transition to the war.
Yeah, he's saying goodbye to his lady.
Yeah, he's like having one last night with his girlfriend, and they have sex, I think, for the first time.
It certainly seems so.
It was a very protracted, awkward, fumbling sex scene.
Yes, it was.
It was definitely like the virginal sex scene. She's like, no, a little higher. No, that's too high.
Come on, man.
the headboard of the bed against the wall.
Yeah, he's stupid.
But mom comes home and he has to like sneak out the back, and he starts like running, like just getting his pants on. He's like running through the neighbor's yard.
Dude, yeah, just hopping fences and shit. Just the first fence he goes into, he's like, "Get out of my yard! Fuck you!"
Yeah, the neighbor's like, "Get out of my yard!"
Such disrespect. Dude,
I found it interesting. Like I said, I've never seen this before. I didn't know this cool like cut was coming, but I found it interesting and remarked at the time, was like, these shots are really like close up. It was like really tight camera shots of him running. Like you're barely getting like a leg, an arm, like just his face.
Just a lot of movement. Like you can tell he's like, moving a lot, but it's just
like scattered movement of him running, like really like telly lenses. And then it just hard cuts to him running through the jungle.
Yeah, in the same position. Like his body's in the exact same position. He hops over a fence, runs, and then he's just in uniform running through the jungle.
It's a match cut, which is a term
That's what it is?
I just learned last week, hanging out with my buddy who's a filmmaker. We did a match cut.
Cool.
It's where you specifically film, like, we did a hand scooping. So, like, you film the same thing twice in different scenes, and then, like, right at the pivotal moments, you match the frames and cut those.
Oh, that's super neat.
They match cutted into Vietnam, and he's like running through the jungle from the Bronx. Just really cool.
Very cool. Sweet.
Respect the Hughes brothers for that one.
Yeah. I also wanted to bring up the interesting thing we were talking about while we were watching the movie, just how it kind of feels like a play.
Yeah.
You know, just the scenes. It's very straightforward most of the time. It's scene in, scene commences, scene out. Always with the fade, always with the fade out.
Yeah, they fade out.
Yeah.
It's not like fluid the way today's TV and movies are.
And it was so noticeable to me.
Yeah.
Like especially towards the end, I was like, wow, this is like 50 fades.
Yeah. They shot it and presented it sort of like you would watch a Broadway play.
Absolutely. Yeah. Super interesting though.
Yeah, it's an old school way of doing movies. But I wonder if because in the 90s, movies weren't largely still being produced, like edited that way.
Yeah.
I wonder if because the movie is set in the 60s and 70s, the Hughes brothers were intentionally like presenting it in an old school format.
I imagine so.
Makes you feel like you're in the 70s, right?
For sure. I mean, this thing was top notch as far as the vibe goes. The whole movie. I mean, like I was totally engrossed in the 60s, late 60s to early 70s scene. Every single part of that movie was done so well in that sense.
The music, it's like every fire sample from the best hip hop songs you've ever heard.
Yeah, that was in there.
All those samples are in this movie.
Yes.
It's the soundtrack that's just loaded with Al Green, Marvin Gaye, Isaac Hayes, The Temptations, Curtis Mayfield.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like all the dopest soul and R&B acts of the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, great music. Good job, Danny.
Danny Elfman.
Good job. I know we've had a checkered past.
With Danny Elfman. We noticed in the intro credits that Danny Elfman did the music, the theme music.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay, let's see where this goes, because we were not impressed with his turn in from Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, dude. Oh, I'll still take, now with some retrospective, I will take Nightmare Before Christmas over True Romance any fucking day, dude.
At least Nightmare Before Christmas like matched what it was trying to do.
I know. Oh, all right.
But yeah, Danny Elfman really only did the intro theme song that rolls during the credit sequence.
Yeah. Otherwise, you just,
it's all just
playlist.
soul music.
Yeah, you just
it's
chose the playlist.
So really dope music.
Yeah.
Really dope, like, set design, wardrobe. Everything is just so...
The aesthetic,
like,
baby.
Yeah, it's in that era so perfectly.
Absolutely.
I loved the first scenes in the Bronx. Before we get into the sort of phase 2 of the movie, the war, there is like a lot of setup going on. You've got this young guy, and before he like commits to enlisting in the Marine Corps, he's like running numbers for what's the guy's
Kirby.
name?
I remember that guy. I remember his name.
Kirby is one of those actors whose name I will forever forget.
Yeah.
But whose face I will forever remember. And more importantly, his voice.
He's done a lot of voice acting. He's the president for Rick and Morty.
He is in
his
so
voice.
many movies.
Yeah.
He's just got that like grizzled elder black man face and voice.
It's
that
perfect.
Like, I don't want to say he's like typecast, because he plays a lot of different types of roles, but like he's persona cast in the way that like Samuel Jackson is persona cast.
God, yeah, I would agree with that for sure. Yeah.
The guy's dope. He has have you ever seen the movie They Live?
No.
There's a pro wrestler who's like the counterpart to that guy. It's that guy and this wrestler. I want to say it's like Roddy Piper. Yeah, it's like Roddy Piper.
Nice.
That's a really cool movie we should watch. It's
Down.
about a world where aliens are real and they've invaded Earth for a long time.
Oh.
And the government is all controlled by aliens
who
who have the ability to like blend in to society with like essentially like holographic technology.
Weird.
And they discover like these sunglasses that let you see through the hologram.
Yeah.
And so they get them and they start putting them on and seeing like what's behind the facade.
Oh God. What are they?
There's a lot of classic scenes where like he looks at a magazine, right? And then he puts them on and it just says "Obey."
Oh, I've seen that before for sure.
That movie for sure inspired Shepard Fairey's "Obey."
Oh.
The whole company.
Yeah, cool.
For sure. It's like super classic. It's from the 80s.
Fuck yeah.
He looks up and he puts it on and it just says "Consume money, sex."
Oh, I've seen these clips. Like I've seen clips of
probably
that
on
for
YouTube
sure.
and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, it's like the reptilian overlord of like conspiracy theories are all like woven into this. That's like the worldview.
Gotcha.
That is being presented by those reptilian, the David Icke people.
Yeah, it's very popular right now.
But yeah, that actor is in it, and there's a fight scene where like him and Roddy Piper like beat the shit out of each other for like 5 straight minutes.
That's going on the must watch, dude, for sure.
I got sidetracked, guys.
That's the way it goes, man. Back into Nam.
Yeah. There's a lot of cool stuff in the Bronx, but I do want to move the plot forward.
Nam's rough.
Nam is a rough era.
Pretty good job at portraying it. I like the way they portrayed it. I mean, it's fucking hell. It is the epitome of you're fighting a nonsense war in a terrible place. Not terrible place per se, but because of the conditions.
It's a harsh place to be.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think they did a really good job of portraying all of these people as very young.
Yeah.
Like you're looking at these soldiers and they look like they're 18, 19, 20 at 20 tops.
Totally.
Like, they look like kids. They've got bad mustaches, right? They look just like a little young in the face.
Yeah. Man.
And that's really what was going on.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
That war was
crafting children,
teenagers, and
dude,
young adults.
Ugh,
especially by like 69, which is when they signed up. Because that war had been going on since 65.
Yeah.
So all of like the older soldiers that would have already been in the army have now done 2 tours
Yeah.
And if they're not dead, they're like back home.
Yeah. So
Or
they're
they're,
just
like,
throwing the
captains or
kids
something.
at it.
Yeah, by 1970, it is a child's war.
That's so fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
And you see that because of the way that people act and break, you know, pretty clearly.
Cleon.
Fuck me up, dude.
Yo, this character Cleon is crazy.
Dude, he's crazy.
He's crazy.
He's crazy.
He's crazy in Vietnam, but then also like the way his character pivots later is also crazy.
It is, yeah. It seems like he just has a lot of deep-rooted issues.
So he's the son of a preacher who is the most like maniacal member of their platoon.
And their staff sergeant.
Yeah. He's
So
like,
he
what,
has authority.
second in command after the captain.
Yep, right behind the captain.
And he like insists that after this like little firebombing happens and the area that they were shooting into is like cleared out.
Yeah.
The captain's like, okay, we're going back to the checkpoint.
Yeah.
And then Cleon's like, no, we're recon. We should go in and check the bodies and see they might have information. And you're like, okay. The captain's like, that's reasonable.
It is.
Let's go in. But then you find out quickly that the reason he wanted to really go back in and check the bodies is because he wanted to maim them.
Yeah, he wanted to shoot dead people and then cut off one of their heads and put it in his backpack.
And he carries a decapitated head in his backpack for an unspecified amount of weeks.
It looks rotted out.
It's like a gray and soft tissue, and everyone in the platoon is complaining it smells.
Dude.
And he's saying it's their luck charm. He's like, this is a good... He's like, ever since I took this head...
Nobody's got a scratch.
Got a scratch.
No slivers in your fingers. Yeah. It's like, dude.
And then they make him bury the head. They're like, get that shit out of here, right? He's like, his captain's like, I'm going to court-martial you.
I do like that scene, the constant rotation where they're all sitting back to back in a circle. That was an interesting scene for sure.
Yeah, and it keeps showing you each person's perspective, and they're all chiming in. They're like, that thing stinks.
It smells like a bag of assholes. It's like...
Because of the beginning of the scene, the captain's like, Cleon, you got to get rid of that head. He's like, I don't hear anyone else complaining about it. And then the Hughes brothers take you around the whole circle, and everyone's got a complaint. And you realize, okay, Cleon's crazy.
He's so crazy.
They've probably been complaining for weeks.
I'm sure. Yeah, no, that was a good portrayal of, you know, someone being totally fucking gone.
The psychotic break of war.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's just, I guess ironic is the word maybe, but he's a preacher's son, right? And he's the most like unhinged, violent one in the group.
Yeah, by a lot.
There's some sort of like commentary there by the Hughes brothers, or maybe it's just an interesting thing to keep in the movie. Yeah. That's one thing that I was feeling throughout this whole movie was I kept finding myself asking, like, is this way because it means something, or because the Hughes brothers just think it's cool?
Yeah, and it fits.
Is it just art, or is it like art with a message?
I think
it's like not clear to me which is which at
Agreed.
any point in this movie.
Agreed. I think it just kind of like weaves in and out. You know, I think sometimes they're for sure trying to like put a message across, but a lot of it just seemed to be like, let me show you how shitty this is.
Yeah.
You know,
it almost felt like documentary.
A little bit, just like a showcase, you know? It's like, this is like a peep into what this sort of life was like at that time.
That's the feeling I got too. It's like, I'm not detecting a strong message or like moral necessarily. It's just like a look at it the way a documentarian would just show you what's happening. Yeah. It's like, this is Bronx 1968. This is what it would be like to be a poor black boy going to war and coming back. Yeah. Here's what the streets were like. Yeah. Here's the neighborhood. Here's the crime.
Yeah. I mean, because all of like the real messages in this movie are just so clear and obvious and cut and dry. It's just like, crime is bad. You know, crime will lead to bad consequences. You know, war will lead to bad consequences.
Yeah. I guess like if there's a message, it's not, those are very on the nose, just like motifs. Like, yes, if you're poor and do crimes, you run the risk of going to prison. But it's like, what is the relationship between poverty and war? The draft. When you feel like you have no choices, then you sign up voluntarily. What is this like cycle of pain that's being created in the Bronx? and how does that lead to the events at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Contained within that somewhere, I feel like, is the seed of a message.
Yes.
But the Hughes brothers aren't telling you what that message is.
No, it's just for you to dissect and figure out for yourself entirely.
We'll get back to it towards the end of the movie, but that's just something I wanted to say now because I was feeling it from the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, totally.
That tension. I'm like, what is happening? What is the point?
I know. Yeah, it's hard to say it like that too because it makes it seem lesser. Like what is the point of it? But I mean, it's not. It
doesn't need a point.
No, it's at some point it could just be visual entertainment art. Yeah. But they're definitely playing around with some really big ideas. It's just they're not going to spell it out for you.
Yeah, in a movie like, I don't know, like Leon the Professional, I don't think there's like a point.
No.
There's not a message. It's cinema du look. Yeah. It's just like stylized crime and action. It's got heart, but it doesn't have necessarily like some grand moral message.
Yeah, it's definitely not.
But this movie just felt different than that.
Yes.
And it feels like the subject matter that they're choosing to focus on feels like it should have a message.
That's totally fair. I mean, it is so serious.
And that's why I felt like I was searching for that message, and the Hughes brothers were being slippery.
They were. I could feel like that could put a lot of people off from this movie, and not to mention the horrible gore. Sometimes I mean, there's some very triggering scenes in this movie.
Kaylin did have a few moments where she's like, "Tell me when I can look again."
Yeah, for sure.
The dismemberment where they cut that guy's dick off and put it in his mouth.
Yep, dude. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't show us any more like traps. There was a lot of really fucked up traps in Vietnam, but besides the point.
We saw one booby trap mine. Full body exploded. All the dismembered parts are like raining down on them.
Man, that would be such a fucked up noise and feeling to hear.
Oh, and Chris Tucker's character like just casually mentions that he got medical leave payments after the war, even though he didn't sustain an injury. And he's like, well, how'd you get those? And he's like, my blood cells are fucked up.
Yeah. It's like, what?
And they never go into it, but I mean, I'm assuming that's Zyklon B, like Agent Orange.
Either that
which was used in Vietnam.
Some sort of fucking disease or parasite, or if he did start doing heroin over there, something from sharing needles. Who knows? It was so unclear.
They were very vague. A lot of this movie sort of moves fast. Like
yeah. Especially with those big, like something to like a person, that would be like a horrible thing. You're like, I was affected by Zyklon or, whatever, Agent Orange. But yeah, like really big things like you mentioned earlier with the draft. It's like there's just kind of.
They blow right past it. Yeah. And these are the types of small details that a quote unquote like normal filmmaker would spend a scene like have the characters like talking about it, like, sort of elaborate on these ideas.
Yeah, but no, it's just a one-off line.
They just say it and move past it. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
It is, because they got shit to do.
They got shit to do.
Yeah.
I wonder if that has anything to do with like, again, like maybe there's a hidden message, but like the mentality when you are impoverished. Like, you don't have time to pay attention.
Shit, you're right. I mean, yeah, actually, I didn't really think about that. Yeah, your goal is to survive. Your next goal is to make food on your table for the next day.
Yeah. He comes back from the war, and he gets a very low-paying butcher job. And he's got a kid to support, and not a wife, but a girl that you used to see.
Yeah, baby mama situation.
They're linking back up. Yeah, it's a baby mama. And... she gets pregnant again. And so there's all this like immediate pressure on him as a returning vet to like provide.
Yeah.
And he is not like suited for that.
Not at all. I mean, he was literally just in a place where you are only succeeding if you are surviving and killing. Like that's just, that's the largest problem with having vets come back, especially at that time with no assistance. Like,
no psychological treatment.
Yeah, or like a debriefing or something.
Therapy, like
serious therapy.
You can't go for 3 years in Vietnam and kill people and watch people die and then just come back and have a normal life.
Yeah, no, of course not. That's insane. It's insane to do with most any conflict like that is insane.
He has dinner with his parents and he's like eating off the plate, like licking his fingers like an animal. He's like eating so fast. And his parents are just like looking at him judgmentally.
Dad gets it though.
His dad fully understands because he was in the Korean War, and mom's asking these insensitive questions.
Oh my God, what'd you do?
How was it? Oh,
are you on drugs?
How was it? Bro. What were you doing over there?
Oh God, what that? Oh,
it's like, dude.
That is the first thing you'd never ask someone, especially of that generation when they come.
Don't ask a vet
no.
day one after you see them when they just got back from the war, how was it?
Yeah. Especially when they're already eating like an animal and fucking won't make eye contact with you.
Right.
That's
like you
crazy.
Can almost picture him. He's at the table like this, but you can picture him at like
in the
base
jungle
of
with
tree.
a tin. Yep.
Yeah. Like
just as fast as he
not
can.
Assimilated back yet. He's still like mentally in the jungle. He's having nightmares. Gory flashback nightmares.
Yeah, seriously.
Like pretty brutal.
The butcher shop does not help.
Yeah, he's processing meat and
all
shit.
day. Yeah.
Gnarly job to have as a vet. But yeah, so he's got a lot on his mental load is high.
Yeah.
His resources are low.
Yeah.
And so it is sort of like, it makes sense that like you just move past shit.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have time.
I don't have time. I don't have money.
Yeah.
I got to get it. It's like, but the way the Hughes brothers sort of put it all together, it does just sort of feel like a documentary. It's like they're just showing you this, not telling you it.
Yeah.
You do have to do a lot to pull these ideas out of the movie.
Absolutely. I mean, and they did that effectively. It's not, I don't think it's like too challenging to necessarily pull those ideas out. It's just, it is not for everyone.
I actually just remembered that the Hughes brothers are documentarians.
Oh. Well,
they have a cool documentary I watched in high school called American Pimp.
Oh, cool.
And it's literally like an interview format documentary about pimps and hoes. And they're all like actual pimps and hoes, like telling their stories to the camera. I'm Rosebud with 2 D's for a double dose of this pimping. That's a real quote.
Wow. That's really cool. Double dose.
Bishop Don Magic Wand. That's actually a fire documentary.
Really?
We should watch American Pimp.
Cool.
I didn't piece that together until right now that like they are documentarians. And then they made this narrative film.
Yeah.
And it feels like it's being presented sort of like in a documentary style.
Yeah, it's like almost like a docuserie, like
docuserie.
A docuserie,
What the fuck is that?
You know what a docuserie is?
No.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. It's just like a fictionalized reenactment of a true story.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it seems like they almost like took a story of some kid that they met or something in that time.
I was wondering that too while watching this. I was like, is this inspired by like a real person?
It seems like it. It's so detailed, but who knows? You know what a docuserie is? That's crazy.
No, I've never heard that word.
Dude, let's go. New word for Patrick.
New word.
Let's go. I love teaching.
I'm learning, people.
That's right. That's
docuserie.
Awesome. Docuserie. You said that, I was like, oh God. Is that not a real word?
I mean, it might not be.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure.
I could be learning false information. This could be a false flag operation.
Oh, God. Not the old Austin false flag, dude.
If your podcast partner taught you a wrong word, would you really want to know?
You wouldn't download a car. Holy shit.
So he's struggling to make ends meet.
Yeah, big time. And
he's taking major hits to his pride.
Oh, God.
We talk about the pimp scene.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but he's a piece of shit, and I hate him, and I wanted him to die.
Yeah. So this pimp is older than him, taller than him, bigger than him, better dressed than him, richer than him.
Yeah.
Drives a better car than him.
Right? And has been fucking his girl while he's in the war.
Yeah. So he's been gone for 3 years, and this pimp was like...
slid on in.
Yeah.
Hit those DMs.
Taking care of his daughter. And in the first scene when they get back together, he like pulls up alongside them in the car, like offers them $200.
Yeah.
He's like making direct eye contact with them. It's real greasy.
It is. It was pretty grinding to watch.
Yeah. And then a few scenes later, after they've been fighting about money, etc., he comes back home with groceries, which is a proud moment for him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, he got so much food from them.
The pimp is leaving his apartment and they confront each other in the hallway. And the pimp is doing this thing where he's like condescending him, but he's saying like,
Well, anytime you need, I'll come by, give you a little cash.
Yeah, he's saying like the right things.
Yeah.
But in a mean way.
Absolutely.
He's like, think of me like your big brother.
Yeah.
I'll take care of y'all.
Yeah.
And it's like,
dude,
you do not tell another man that you're going to take care of his wife and kid.
That's crazy.
You're trying to adopt me?
Yeah,
adopt my family?
Daddy? Like, what do you want from me?
It's very demeaning.
It's insane.
So he mouths off. He's like, don't ever fucking come around my family ever again. That type of shit.
Yeah.
And the pimp is like, hey, like, I didn't mean anything by it. Like, turns around and then hits him. Like, he hits him blindsides him.
Yeah. Hits him pretty hard, knocks him down the stairs.
Like with an object out of his pocket. It might be the butt of his gun.
Yeah, something. It was not. Yeah, it wasn't just.
Pulls out of his pocket. He clocks him in this temple.
Yeah.
Dude falls down an entire staircase.
Yeah, smacks the back of his head into a rail. He's fucking sitting there. He's stunned for a sec, and fucking pimp walks down and pulls out his gun and
puts it in his face. Yeah. He tells him to open his mouth and suck it.
Yeah, and he don't.
He doesn't.
He does not.
He's like, just shoot me right now, motherfucker.
Yeah, fucking suck your gun, dude. I'll kill him.
Yeah, the guy's like, he's like, I'm not gonna kill a man over a woman, but don't do this again. Don't talk to me like that again. Whatever. Like, it's real greasy, and it is such a hit to his pride.
It destroys him. I mean, that's like the nail in the coffin, really, of this whole arc of building up this cycle of pain and every trauma that's been built so far. Him doing that is just, and it's gone. You know what I mean?
And it's what tips him over the edge to commit to doing this robbery.
Yes.
He's been like thinking about doing something criminal, you can tell.
Yeah, for sure. He's been sliding in that way.
Talking about it. He goes back over to the bookie, the numbers guy, and he's talking about doing jobs, but he doesn't have any. And this is what breaks him. And he's like, okay, I got to get money now because I can't just be a sucker.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Ugh. And then he also treats his lady so bad.
Yeah. He goes in there and they fight, and then he chokes her.
Tells he's going to kill her if he ever runs up on her again or runs up on him again. All this bullshit. It's just like a psychopathic rage. You know, really. She's antagonizing him very much
because he's being insecure about the fact that she is cheating on him.
Yeah.
She finally admits it because he presses her on it. Mm-hmm. She finally does admit it. She's like, yes, I fucked him. Is that what you want to hear? Mm-hmm. And he's like, no. Like, no,
obviously not.
Off, right? Yeah. And so they just start. First, it's just verbal, and then he tries to walk away, and she like grabs his shoulder, and he turns around fast and chokes her. Like, it's like
reaction sort of
war
thing.
reaction. Or something. He's like, never run up on me again.
Yeah, I mean, it's so fucking messy. Obviously, it's not right for him to do that in any sense, But my God, dude, that is some fucking. You also shouldn't run up on a vet.
He's clearly suffering from PTSD. Yeah, she wakes up with his nightmares. Every night.
Absolutely.
It's cold sweats.
Yeah, dude, that's a nasty ass situation. It's disgusting. I know.
I wonder if PTSD is like the main target of this movie.
To an extent,
but PTSD not only from war, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's just actual trauma.
Generational trauma, how that leads to bad decisions. But then like the war experience leads to actual post-traumatic stress disorder. Mm-hmm. But like dividing between what's your PTSD from just living in the Bronx in the 60s versus what's your PTSD from the Vietnam War. Yeah. That's like not as easy. Because like if you're from the suburbs and you're white, there's a before and after the war.
Absolutely.
Where you are good and well adjusted, and now you have PTSD.
Yeah. Everything, if it's in the Bronx, I mean, growing up, especially at that time, I'm sure, and poor, like that probably just blends right together. Where are you supposed to tell when the trauma began and what really triggered it?
And when he comes back, like the Black Panthers are in full swing, and they're like recruiting, and they're all militant, and they're talking about what guns they're like certified to use, and they're trying to recruit him into their thing. And it's like, am I still in a war? Yeah. Now I come back and I'm like at war with my own country. Yeah. And everyone's on drugs, and
it's just destitute.
The separation of like various traumas and disorders is like messier for this character than it would be for like his white counterpart.
100%. Yeah. I mean, that's, that's why they made him from the Bronx.
Yeah.
It's a hard place to be.
Yeah.
Especially in the 70s. My God, dude.
Dude, New York was like a hellscape in the 70s.
Yeah. Yeah, this absolutely corrupt police.
Those
everywhere.
kids are burning mattresses.
Dude, they're fucking just like jumping in an empty lot in that final scene, burning mattresses and like just jumping
8
on them.
Mattresses in a pile that's on fire with like trash can fires. And kids are just like circling it, like playing with the fire mattresses.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy.
Like, this is fun.
Yeah, like I actually can't imagine growing up.
That's wild.
During that time there. That's wild.
It's the Bronx equivalent of when you see like a Tennessee redneck just burning tires.
Yeah. That's fucking
We're out here burning tires, baby. Woo! There's nothing better to do.
No, straight up. Oh, fuck.
So yeah, he's having a rough go of it.
Yeah.
And he decides to do a robbery. His old friend has information about a bank, like a vault truck.
Yeah, they pick up old bills and go and burn them. Bills that have gone out of cycle. Yeah,
they're just too destroyed. They're just like going to burn the old money. They've printed new money.
Yeah.
No amount of money is changing. It's just like we're upgrading the bills. But they know where this truck picks up the old bills, and they plan a robbery.
Yeah.
It's a very iconic setup. The Dead Presidents like robbery scene. They've got like the iconic makeup.
The white with the black eyes.
Yeah, the Scully beanies, the all black, and then like the woman in the dumpster with the 2 pistols.
Yeah, guns akimbo. Dude, the way she fucking first popped out, that was crazy.
Dude, no hesitation.
No hesitation, and both clips almost all the way. I think that she emptied them, dude, into one dude.
One cop.
Yes.
I really hate police.
She seriously does, dude.
Something I forgot to tell you. So they have a 5-man squad.
Yeah.
It's his girl's sister, who is in the Black Panthers. It's his old bookie. And then it's the 2 guys he was in the war with. And they decide they need one more. They go back and get Cleon.
Cleon, the head fucker.
The guy with the head from Vietnam.
Yeah.
He is now an acting preacher.
Yeah.
He has his own like congregation in the Bronx.
That's a fun little... I like that they made him a preacher.
Yeah.
That's
so
crazy.
He's doing what his dad did.
Yeah.
And he's talking about how like, I used to kill. And I
used to
promised the Lord I would not anymore. And he's like doing this whole like Vietnam vet preacher routine.
Yeah, sure.
But you could tell it's kind of like a rundown church. He's not doing that. His congregation's like 12 people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they recruit him to be the 6th man. They need another lookout. And he's all concerned that Chris Tucker's character is gonna like freeze up.
Yeah, because he had a little moment in the war where when their sergeant or when their captain died, he fucking dove to the ground and was just sitting there shaking for a while. But
did nothing.
Yeah. It's not how it went down.
No, it was some role reversal, and Cleon freezes up.
Cleon freezes up.
Because he's approached by this cop because he's a lookout on the corner, and the cop's like, "You waiting for the number 11 bus?" and making idle chatter.
Yeah.
And it's revealed that like he's a Marine, and then the cop's like, "I was a Marine too.
Yeah.
We got to look out for each other." And so instantly Cleon is uncomfortable with harming this person.
Yeah.
Chris Tucker, A, doesn't know that. B, does not give a fuck.
Does not care at all. And he's also wigging out over there, just like fucking going crazy, dude. It's so sus.
He's using heroin these days.
True.
And he's strung out.
Yeah.
And he's much more like less hesitant than he was when he was younger in the war. Like, he's just like down to do this.
Yeah. And pretty like vicious.
Yeah.
You know?
The cop, after like it's time to do the robbery, like the vault truck is getting loaded up. They come out from their hiding spots.
Yeah.
The cop that is next to him on the corner is like, oh shit, like sees it happening and starts to like approach them and draws his weapon. And Cleon like fails to act.
Yeah.
He reaches out but like hesitates and doesn't stop him. And the guy gets some shots off and hits their getaway driver.
Yeah. Kirby.
And then, Kirby. And then it's Chris Tucker who comes up behind him and puts one in his head.
Yeah.
And he's like, what the fuck, man? You froze up.
Froze up.
He's like, you froze up, motherfucker. You froze up. You froze up. That Chris Tucker double.
Crazy. Yeah, it's pretty savage, though. You know?
The brutality of this scene is pretty intense.
It is.
The woman pops out of the dumpster at this point.
Yeah.
Guns akimbo, unloads both magazines into the chest of a cop.
Yeah, blasts one of them.
There's like a shotgun in play into the knee.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty wild. It's pretty scattered too. You know, it's not like hard to follow by any means, but it's just chaos all around. It all happens within like 2 minutes or something like that. It's a pretty fast scene overall. And then fucking the dude blew off his hand.
The explosives expert. In quotations.
The fucking friend from high school or whatever. Just destroys the truck.
He's supposed to place a charge, like a C4 charge,
like,
that's going to blow off the doors of the truck.
There's like 2 red bricks of C4, like this big, on that charge.
He is so hyped to do his bomb. He puts it on the door, backs up, detonates it, and the entire truck explodes.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't believe that there was any money in there at all after that.
Money is flying through the air.
Yeah.
In the wind. They're like, what the fuck?
Yep. Ugh.
Chris Tucker's like, you're supposed to blow the doors up. You blew the whole motherfucking truck. Anytime Chris Tucker talks, I love it, dude.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty good.
But they are able to recover $300,000 still unburned.
Yep. And baby mama's sister dies.
Yeah, she gets shot.
Yep.
And
it's just the 4 of them left, right?
Also, no, the bomb guy dies too.
Yeah, because he gets fucking splattered.
He gets run down by a cop car in
Yeah.
an alley, and they pin him against a wall.
Yeah. Ooh, such a bad way to die.
Yeah, I do not want to have my guts pinned against a wall by the bumper
No,
of a Crown
dude.
Victoria.
Yeah, no thank you. Fucking Christ.
So they've got a 4-way split on $300,000.
They're back down in Kirby's table arguing and bullshitting and, you know.
And there's really like there's no happy ending coming from this. Like, people are just dying.
Yeah.
Chris Tucker's character just ODs
Yep.
on heroin.
Yep. Alone.
Cleon's character gets erratic, starts spending the money, like
giving out $100 bills to people.
He buys a new Cadillac.
Yeah.
People know he can't afford it.
Yeah. It's just clearly, you know.
He gets like picked up by the police and snitches.
Just rats immediately.
Immediate rat.
Immediate rat.
And then the cops pick up our main character and Kirby in Kirby's shop.
Mm-hmm.
And instantly you're just like in a courtroom.
Yeah.
And it's the final scene.
Yeah, we never see Kirby again. It's gone.
Yeah. And the Hughes brothers are just moving through these scenes like so fast.
So fast, yeah. It's just bam, that happens, you get arrested, and then bam, sentencing, and then bam, on the bus, and then that's it.
The judge is played by Martin Sheen.
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen's father, who is also in Apocalypse Now.
Oh, do we have that on the list?
Yep. Another Vietnam movie.
I also want to watch Apocalypto.
I do too.
Yes.
Yes. It's
Put
got
it on
good
the list.
reviews. I've seen like half of it.
Same, like 2 or 3 times. It's very long.
But this court scene is pivotal.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime that a movie puts its character in a trial, that's metaphorical.
Okay.
If it's not specifically a movie about litigation, if it's not like a lawyer movie or something.
Yeah. It's being tried for his...
Yes, we are now in judgment, right, of the character.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where you get the Hughes' like moral of the movie. Because this whole time I've been watching this movie and I'm, like we've been talking about, I'm sort of ambivalent. Like, what are they saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why are they showing me this?
Yes.
Why have they chosen this story to tell?
Mm-hmm.
Was it just because it's cool? So you get this scene. The scene starts and he's already been tried and convicted.
Yep.
He's already found guilty. And it's just sort of like
sentencing.
The debrief with the judge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the sentencing. And he's like, do you want to make any final statements? And what he says is some sort of like wishy-washy statement about how, Your Honor, I didn't have like any choice. I did what I had to do to survive.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And the lawyer that defends him is like, I do want to point out that he is an honorable Marine.
Yeah, served in Vietnam.
He was part of a special task force. He's got this.
Martin Sheen just shuts that the fuck down.
Dude, he's like, okay, I'm going to stop you right there.
Yeah.
he says some wild shit. He's like, I was also a Marine in
Yeah.
World War II, a real war.
Yeah.
And like our main character, when Martin Sheen says World War II was a real war, our main character like rolls his eyes and says, come on, man. Like Vietnam wasn't a real war.
Yeah.
But I think it's the Hughes brothers making a moral statement about American foreign policy.
Absolutely. We should have never been in Vietnam. We definitely needed to be in World War II.
World War II was a morally righteous
Yeah.
cause for the Americans to like get involved in.
Pretty much the last one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to say yes.
Nice.
Put that on the record. World War II was the last moral war.
Christ.
But yeah, he's like, I was in World War II, a real war, I'll have you know. And I wrote it down. I don't want to butcher the quote.
Yeah.
He says, and I will not permit you to use the Vietnam War as a cop-out.
Ah, yeah.
Which I think you did see a lot of in
Definitely.
the 70s.
For sure.
And
also with our character specifically, but yeah, just in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, obviously a character is representative of an idea. If we're assuming the Hughes brothers have a point to make.
Yes.
Which I do assume they do.
Yes, we're assuming it. You're assuming it.
Then the character is representative of all Vietnam vets. Specifically black Vietnam vets.
Yeah.
And they make a point of differentiating between black vets and white vets multiple times in this movie.
Yeah, they do. Specifically with like that little poster
There's
thing.
A pamphlet that the Vietnamese give them that says U.S. black men.
Yeah. This is not your war.
Yeah.
Like,
and they say before they go in the war, Chris Tucker's like, this ain't no black man's war.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know no Vietnam. Viet Cong. Like, I don't know those motherfuckers.
Why do I gotta kill him?
Yeah. He's like, why do I want to go to Vietnam and fight a white man's war?
Yeah.
He's like, this has nothing to do with me. And fair enough.
Yeah. Straight.
Not wrong. But yeah, he represents black vets, I guess, like symbolically. And this might be the Hughes brothers saying that in the 70s, you may have seen a lot of like black vets coming back to New York, not getting therapy, having PTSD, getting addicted to heroin, and committing a lot of crimes.
And then justifying it by they were in the war,
Their
which is just
experience
a
in the
vicious cycle. Because I mean, like if they would have just gotten, well, if they wouldn't have went to the war, obviously, but if they would have gotten proper help, so much of that could have been
right. So and it's not about placing blame. That's part of what I was trying to like tease out earlier when we were talking about like how do you differentiate between your traumas if you grew up with trauma.
Yeah.
The war is obviously adding more trauma.
Absolutely.
But it's not your only source of it. So this kid may have had PTSD since he was 11 years old.
Absolutely.
Who knows what he saw as a kid.
Yeah.
Right? Like the things he went through. He was doing like bookie jobs with Kirby.
Yeah. Pretty
before
shady,
the war.
dude.
Kirby goes and stomps the shit out of that store owner and throws him through his own window.
Yeah, to seize that, that's totally normal.
That's a great scene, by the way.
That is a good
It's like, you grabbed the wrong leg, motherfucker. Kirby has a fake leg.
Yeah, dude, that shit was banging.
The guy pulls his leg off and he's jumping around with his gun out. He's like, the wrong leg, motherfucker. And then he gets down on the ground. He rolls over because he's got one leg. He puts the gun up to his head. He's like, should have grabbed the right leg, motherfucker. It's so funny.
Oh,
dude.
it is so good.
But yeah, I mean, to that effect, Kirby is also a black vet. That's interesting too. I didn't think about that. But
straight, yeah, because he was in Korea as well, right?
And so is his dad. They're both Korean vets. So
that's
you've
so
got
crazy.
this.
So many vets.
You've got this like concept of like generational trauma, and then it's like, okay, dad was in the war, son's in the war.
Dad seems fucked up too. I mean, he says like 3 words the whole time. He's just pretty much just like head down, quiet.
Very quiet. Mom does all the talking. Dad just does this sometimes to shush mom. He's
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna let him breathe.
Yeah. That's fucking least you can
Talk
do.
to your mother.
Yeah, seriously though.
But yeah, the sort of unspoken darkness contained within a vet is very present in these older characters.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you sort of see it coming to the surface in this younger character too. And yeah, he does proceed throughout this movie to make all the wrong choices.
Yeah, pretty much every time.
Yeah.
I mean, starting with joining the
Going to the
fucking
war.
war
Yeah.
voluntarily. You know,
Right.
it's like the first choice he makes, really, and it's immediately the wrong one.
He's like running numbers instead of going to school. He doesn't want to go like his brother to college. He wants to live a different life. And it's like, you're just making bad choices, man.
Yeah.
Like, every time he gets an opportunity to make the right choice, he makes the wrong one in this movie.
Mm-hmm. It's harsh. It's heavy.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, the Hughes brothers do not want to hear it. I will not let you use the Vietnam War as a cop-out.
Yeah.
Like, you have to stand on, ultimately, like,
Yeah.
you have to stand on the decisions that you make as a man.
Yeah. And yeah, live with those consequences. And then still, even with the trauma and the PTSD, still try and fight for doing the right thing all the time.
Yeah. And that makes me also sort of like read the scene with the pimp a little differently too.
Really?
Because the things that pimp are saying to him are, they are mean.
Yeah.
He's saying them to condescend him.
Wrong.
But he's spitting facts, man.
Yeah, he is correct. I mean, he cannot pay for his food. He's not putting money on the table. He's
coming through this guy's house, providing for his woman and his kids and him.
Yeah,
frankly.
and literally him.
He's like, I remember when I was married, I used to bring home the groceries.
Felt so good.
He's just like you're doing right now, but the groceries isn't enough. He's like, you got no money. And he's like spitting facts, man. And the fact of the matter is that our main character is an alcoholic with PTSD, bad job, and then no job. Mm-hmm. And he's not taking the proactive steps to like get his life together.
No, not at all.
And the pimp is like actually right. The pimp is bringing money into the household.
Fuck.
And I wonder like what the Hughes brothers meant by that.
Yeah.
Because I know they made the American Pimp documentary.
Yeah.
And I wonder if...
I mean, I guess it's never really actually stated that he is a pimp.
Is it not?
No, she actually denies him being a pimp.
She denies that he was her pimp.
I guess that's fair. Yeah, so he might just be a pimp.
I think he is a pimp.
Yeah,
for sure.
Okay, I thought it was like in the context of her being.
It's not clear that he was pimping her. I think he was just fucking her.
Gotcha. Take care of that.
Take care of your baby.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, dude. Huh.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of mixed messages, I guess, or like dark messages, or like dark, uncomfortable truths.
Yeah,
contained in these scenes.
Yeah,
right.
Very much so.
It's not like a Disney movie where things wrap up nice and neat.
No, there's no bow on this present, dude. It is a rather dark and gruesome time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our main character just ends up in prison. The last shot is him on a prison bus just looking out the window.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. I mean, and that's just also a lot of the time reality. It's not going to be neat. It's not going to be nice and clean. It's going to be very fucking messy, especially when you're exacerbating all these problems with your own decisions. It's a fucking interesting take. Interesting movie. I was not expecting that walking into that at all.
No, me neither. I knew it was like a crime caper, black movie from the Bronx.
Yeah.
Like that's all I had going into this.
Same.
I was not expecting the Vietnam War element of it.
Mm-hmm. Not at all. I thought it was going to stay in the war for a while.
I didn't know what that was a part of this movie. I wasn't expecting it to like end so poorly.
Yeah, me neither. I had hoped, I guess I hoped that they got the cash and made it all away and stuff, but like still, that's like not.
It's not a great
good,
ending.
dude. It's gonna leave them, on like thirsty for more and like on that cycle of just going down crime. Even if they would have got away with it, then it's like, oh, we can make money by robbing and killing people. Yeah. Let's start doing that, But
I thought we might get like more time spent in the sort of organized crime element.
Yeah.
Get like sort of maybe a black counterpart to like Goodfellas, where it's like, okay, we get to see him rise the ranks, make more money. You see success, then a downfall.
Yeah, I figured
this is just a straight line to downfall. One job.
Yeah. One job.
Goes wrong, prison. One job.
Crazy, man.
Yeah. No second chances.
Not here. Not on Quiet in the Back.
We don't give you a second chance.
That's right. You get one chance.
Speaking of dead presidents, please like and subscribe to our channel.
Yes, my God. Oh,
we need
Lord.
your support.
We do. These are some interesting times.
Eventually, we'll be able to have ad revenue, and then we can, commit our own bank robberies on the Google Vault truck. The YouTube Brinks truck.
Yes. Well, yeah. That was Dead Presidents, dude.
What do you think you would rate this movie before we sign
Thank you for reminding me. That is a hard-ass question, but I'm gonna go with like a high 7.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. I think it's just a little too aloof and old styled for my take. My preferred measure of like what I enjoy watching.
Yeah, the
good ass movie, but like the flash in and outs, the editing got very tacky towards the end. I was like, okay, enough of this, I'm tired of seeing that. And then just aloof, and not necessarily bad when I say aloof, but just like hazy. It's hazy and hard to watch.
Opaque.
Yeah.
It's presented a sort of documentary style, but it's like a narrative film. It's
but unique, very unique, in that sense too.
I think it's a very strong movie. I do think it's a must watch.
Agreed.
I think you should watch this movie. I think there's a lot of information in this movie that the Hughes brothers are not going to hold your hand about. No. Like, they're not going to tell you what to think or how to feel.
Yeah, there's a shit ton that we didn't cover.
Yeah,
that happened. Like
tons of details in this movie.
Yeah,
and characters just blow past it. It's just like little slices of reality. And you got to do the work to like suss out the meaning of those moments yourself. So I honestly feel like this movie is closer to like what it feels like to read a book than to watch a modern movie.
Absolutely.
That analogy makes sense.
Yeah, especially with the way they did it. Like, it feels like you're not watching a modern movie.
I kind of want to watch this movie with a highlighter, so to speak. Like, there's like critical dialogue moments or like visual symbolism.
The way sometimes some of the characters, like, just like the dichotomy of some of the characters that will just be reversed on random occasions. It was a super duper interesting and thought-provoking watch.
And I'm sure there's a lot of symbolism that I fully missed.
Oh yeah,
this was both our first time watching it.
Oh yeah,
I still don't really understand Cleon. Like,
nah, he's fucking crazy, bro.
But I think his character is like deeper than I understand right now.
Most likely.
And I'll probably come around to some new revelations in the future, but like something about him being a preacher's son, going crazy in the jungle, coming back, becoming a preacher again, like
fucking
I don't know, there's something there that I like haven't picked up on fully yet. And I think that's true of like many of these characters.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of fucking dialogue in this movie too. Like there's pretty much always someone talking like the whole time.
Yeah. Well,
this
has been
Quiet
in
the
Back.
Shh. Thanks.
If you lived in 1968, you could be a milkman. Mail went to your mailbox, milk went in your milk can. Regular and chocolate too, what a time to be alive. We should go to school, cause I ain't going to that damn war. Life in New York, in the Bronx was hard just to get by. Had to run the gambling numbers, had to hurt some guys. Everyone has trauma, and everyone's a vet. And if you go to Vietnam, then this is what you get. Post-traumatic stress. You've got the disorder. Once you cross that border, you've got post-traumatic stress. Oh yes, if you make it out alive, now you've got to go be normal. Being black in America is a full-time gig, especially when your baby girl is starting to get big. Got to get a job that doesn't pay too well. A pimp might give your girl some money, life is hell. If you're feeling desperate, then you might just wanna rob. Find yourself a bank truck, now now you've got a job. You can kill a couple cops and blame it on the war. I'm just doing what I had to do to survive. 'Cause I've got post-traumatic stress. You've got the disorder. Once you cross that border, you've got post-traumatic stress. Oh yes, if you make it out alive, now you've got to go be normal. Vietnam was not a real war. World War II was the last real war. The judge doesn't want to hear your excuses. At least that pimp was really making money. At least that pimp really out here making money. At least that pimp really out here making money.